Hello, my sweetest learners. Welcome to today's class. Today, let us gain some knowledge on density. Children, what is density? The mass per unit volume of a substance is called density. I repeat, the mass per unit volume of a substance is called density. You're familiar with the term mass as well as volume in the previous sessions. So today, let us have some discussion on density. Density. So, density is generally defined as mass per unit volume. If D represents density, M represents mass and V represents volume, then density can also be written as mass by volume as D is equals to M by V. If you would like to find out mass, mass equals to density into volume and volume equals to mass by density. So, remember this formula. Moving to the units of density, SI units of density is mass is measured in kilogram, SI units of mass is kilogram, and volume is length into breadth into height, meter into meter into meter, that is meter cube. So, SI unit of density is kg per meter cube, whereas CGS units of density is, instead of kg, you need to write it in grams upon, instead of meter, you will be using centimeter cube. So, I repeat, density is defined as the mass per unit volume of a substance. Mathematical formula D equals to M by V. SI units kg per meter cube. CGS units gram per centimeter cube. If you would like to get the relation between this kg per meter cube and gram per centimeter cube, let us try to find it out. So, how many gram per centimeter cube makes a kg per meter cube? Let us go here. 1 gram per centimeter cube can be written as, let me write it as 1 gram per 1 centimeter cube is nothing but 1 gram upon centimeter into centimeter into centimeter. Isn't it, children? So, 1 gram per centimeter cube is 1 gram upon centimeter into centimeter into centimeter. So, this can be written as gram if you would like to convert in meter cube. So, 1 by 1000 kgs. Since we have 1 kg is equals to 1000 grams, 1 gram is equals to 1 by 1000 kg. Whole upon 1 centimeter cube is nothing but 1 centimeter into 1 centimeter into 1 centimeter. As we know that 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeters, 1 centimeter is equals to 1 by 100 meters. So, instead of 1 centimeter, I can write it as 1 by 100 meters into, again instead of 1 centimeter, I can write it as 1 by 100 meters and again 1 by 100 meters. Are you getting me, children? So, here this can be written as 1 by 1000 kg whole upon 2 zeros to 2. Totally how many zeros, children? 6 zeros. So, here I can write it as meter into meter into meter is meter cube. So, 1 gram per centimeter cube can be written as 1 by 1000 kg upon 1 by, so 10 out of 6 zeros, 10 lakhs meter cube. If you further simplify this, you can write it like this. This is nothing but 1 by 1000 divided by 1 by 10 lakhs. So I'll write it here. 1 by 1000 divided by 1 by 10 lakhs. In order to convert this divided into symbol, what we need to say is 1 by 1000 into, if division is converted as multiplication, this should be taken as the reciprocal part. That means 10 lakhs upon 1. So this can be written as 1 by 1000 into reciprocal of the numerator term is something like this. Then this will become, the units as kept as it is, kg by meter cube. Only the number is changed. Now after simplification, 1, 2, 3. 3 zeros gets cancelled. So how many zeros are left over, children? 3 zeros. Hence clearly, one gram per centimeter cube is equals to 1000 kg per meter cube. So try to remember this, children. 1 gram per centimeter cube is equals to 1000 kg per meter cube. In the later case, 1 kg per meter cube is equals to 1 by 1000 gram per centimeter cube. Similarly, if I would like to write it as 1 kg per meter cube, this is equals to, bring the 1000 to the other side, and this will become reciprocal. Then 1 by 1000 gram per centimeter cube. I hope you understood. So let us revise back. What is density, children? Density is nothing but the mass per unit volume. SI units is kg per meter cube. CGS units is gram per centimeter cube. Whereas 1 gram per centimeter cube is equals to 1000 kg per meter cube, and 1 kg per meter cube is equals to 1 by 1000 gram per centimeter cube. Okay, children. So moving ahead, we have converting into the next pattern, we have determination of the density of a substance. If you would like to measure the density of a given substance, one substance is given to you in order to find, suppose a stone is given to you, and if you would like to measure the density of the given stone, then first of all take a physical balance or beam balance and find out the mass of the given stone. Mark it as M. And now take a jar. Inside the jar pour some liquid. Let us suppose that inside the jar, the liquid was measured as up to 50 centimeter cube. Then once the stone is being kept, let us suppose that the liquid level raised to some 75 centimeter cube. Initially it was 50 centimeter cube. Once the stone is being placed, its reading was changed to 75 centimeter cube. What is the change in volume? This was initial volume, this is final volume. What is the difference in volume? 75 minus 50, that is 25 centimeter cube. So this difference in volume gives the volume of the stone. Mass of the stone was already found in physical balance. So in order to find the density, mass which was calculated with the help of physical balance, and volume after immersed inside the liquid, the difference in the two volumes gives the volume of the given object. Likewise, you will be measuring the density of the given body. So based on the above facts, let us try to solve few numericals in worksheet number 11. Okay. So moving ahead, children. So first numerical, density. Children, as I told you that density is defined as mass by volume. Isn't it? Density is defined, the mass per unit volume is called as density. So here is your correct answer. Mass by volume is called as your density. Okay. Next. Density depends on what factors does the density depends on? Just now we have the density depends on two factors. One is mass, the other is volume. So density depends on two physical quantities. One is mass, the other is volume. So density depends on mass only, volume only, or both mass and volume. Yes, it depends on both mass and volume. Next question. The density of a solid is measured by using a physical balance, measuring cylinder, or both 1 and 2. I told you just now that if you would like to measure a density of any object, say suppose stone, first of all, with the help of physical balance, you have to measure its mass. Again, then with the help of measuring cylinder, you need to find the volume of the given object. Then the density is calculated by mass upon volume. So to find the density, you need to depend on two factors. One is mass, the other is volume. Okay. So to measure mass, we use physical balance, and to measure volume, we use measuring jars. So answer is both 1 and 2. Okay. Next. CGS unit of density is density. What is the formula for density? Density equals to mass by volume. What is the CGS unit of mass, children? Mass is measured in CGS, grams, centimeter, gram, second. So mass is measured in grams, whereas volume means length into breadth into height, or whatever. The volume of a given object is nothing but centimeter into centimeter into centimeter, that is centimeter cube. Hence the CGS unit of density is gram per centimeter cube. Okay children. Next. 1 gram per centimeter cube. How many kg per meter cube? We have already calculated. What we calculated? 1 gram per centimeter cube is equals to 1000 kg per meter cube, or 1 kg per meter cube is equals to 1 by 1000 gram per centimeter cube. So you are asked to convert gram to by centimeter cube to kg per meter cube. So what is the correct answer? 1000. Okay children. Next. Mass per dash volume is called density. I repeated number of times. How do you define density? Mass per unit volume is called density. What is that? Mass per unit volume is called density. So how many units? 1 unit only I told. So mass per unit volume is called density. Next. The density of water at 4 degrees Celsius is, yes children, this thing I need to tell you that always water at 4 degrees Celsius is having 1 gram per centimeter cube. Children, the density of water at 4 degrees Celsius is a fixed value it is having, and its value is 1 gram per centimeter cube. Density of water at 4 degrees Celsius is 1 gram per centimeter cube. This can also be written as like this: 1 gram centimeter cube carried upwards means this plus 3 will become minus 3. So like this also you can write it. So where is the correct answer? Here. 1 gram per centimeter cube. Children, you need to remember this. The density of water at 4 degrees Celsius always remains at value is 1 gram per centimeter cube. It is a fixed value. Okay. The body sinks in liquid when does the body can sink in liquid? So whenever the density of the given body is more than the density of the liquid, it sinks to the bottom. Lesser means it floats upwards. Equal means it floats at the bottom layer. Okay. Next. So the body sinks in liquid when the density of the body is more than the density of the liquid. Okay children. If it is lesser means it will float. If same means it also floats, but at what layer? Only but two surfaces will be at the same place. The body will float on a liquid. When does a body float on liquid? So two possibilities are there. What are the two possibilities? When the density of the given body is lesser than the density of the liquid or equal to the density of the liquid. Two cases are there. Not more than. must be lesser than or must be same. So which one is the correct answer? Both 2 and 3 are correct answer. Either lesser than or equal to. Iron needle sinks in water but not an iron ship because, yes, this is a great question. Iron needle is made up of iron, whereas ship is also made up of iron. But do you ever wonder why? So if you immerse this needle inside a water, then definitely it will sink down. But the same thing, iron, the heavy iron is made for ship. But that much heavy iron, that ship is floating on the water. What makes the difference? Volume. Okay. So because density equals to mass by volume. Okay. But here the matter is volume matters. Okay. Because of the larger volume of ship, it floats. Whereas because of less volume of iron, it will sink down. The reason behind this is we know that density equals to mass by volume. Okay. So if density is more than water, then it will sink. If volume and density, how are they? Inversely proportional. Larger the volume, lesser will be density. For a given mass, larger the volume, density is inversely proportional to volume. More the volume, lesser will be density. Reciprocal. Okay. So what is the correct answer? Because of the larger volume of ship, the needle will sinks down, whereas the ship will floats. Which one can sink in water? Let us see. Cork, you know, rubber cork. Okay. That cork is having very light weight and also that means its density is less. So definitely cork will float on water. Now zinc is a metal. So when metals density generally more when compared to water. So definitely this zinc, the metal substance, will definitely sink inside the water. Kerosene oil you would have observed at home and all, the oil will floats on water. So because less density. Petrol is also a type of oil which have lesser density. So petrol also floats on oil. So cork, kerosene oil and petrol floats on water, and whereas zinc is a metal which definitely sinks inside water. Moving ahead, the SI unit of 1 by density is, what is this children? I told you that for density, SI units for density, what I told you? Kg per meter cube, isn't it? So SI unit of density is kg per meter cube. But here you are asked to find out the SI unit for reciprocal of density. If you reciprocal it, here also you need to reciprocal it. 1 by density means 1 by kg per meter cube. What is 1 by kg per meter cube? Take the reciprocal of that. That will be meter cube per kg. So density means density by 1. Reciprocal means 1 by density. Kg per meter cube. Reciprocal means meter cube by kg. So this is your right answer. Okay children. Next, a piece weighs, just remove this off. Now it's clear. A piece weighs 332 grams and has a volume of 20 centimeter cube. Then the density in gram per centimeter cube is. What is the formula for density children? Density equals to mass by volume. And how much is the mass they have given there? 332 grams upon, what was the volume they gave? 20 centimeter cube. Okay. So, find out the density. Simplify it. Therefore, the value of density of the given piece will be equals to how much children? 2 ones, 6, 6, isn't it? Gram per centimeter cube, isn't it? So 332 upon 20 is 16.6 gram per centimeter cube. So where is the correct answer? Here. So density of the given piece is 16.6 gram per centimeter cube. Okay. Next, The mass per unit volume of a substance is called, mass per unit volume is called as density. Yes. Okay. This is your right answer. Okay. If m is the mass of an object, v is the volume, such that d is its density, what we can say? So, okay, symbolically density d equals to m mass by v volume. So, no such formula is there because no division is there. V, what is the value of v? M by d. Okay. MVD, nothing is there. So, let me bring this V to the other side. Then what will become? M is equals to V into D. M is equals to, this V, bring it here. This denominator will become numerator part. So, M is equals to V into D. Okay. The other options are absolutely false. Okay.